your host, Coach Jake. This is the podcast where we explore the journey from being no one to number one. Hope you guys are good. What's up, Forge Fight, Mr. Harley Smith? Got a lot of people joining us on Instagram, waiting for everybody to jump on in the YouTube and Facebooks. Amanda, Gregory Jackson, Ariane Tomer, Typical Morgaine. What is up? Good to see you guys. So today I really wanted to continue our exploration of entrepreneurship, right? Interpret Angel says, I want my future child to be a great wrestler someday. Better start training. You know, the challenge is I've never imposed my dreams on my children because I respect their autonomy and their individuality. And as much as I would love for them to continue on the family business, and whether that family business is scientific wrestling, whether it is something in fitness with the mace belt, or something in software with Game Master Technology, or something in business and consulting and business coaching with number one, I would be so happy, because the thing with generational businesses, and I've talked about this with family business, is that the kids get a head start. But the challenge is that you're not going to be able to get your kid to do it unless they want to. Now, how do you get them to want to? So that's a sales job, right? So I appreciate the comment in Interpret Angel. He says, I have more of a boxing background, but grappling is much more diverse. Yeah, and wrestling is the best grappling. It's just proven. So what I would suggest, honestly, is share your passion and support them. Interpret Angel says fitness and combat sports is so important for personal development. Oh yeah, wrestling is the greatest personal development program known to man, in my opinion. Known to people, for men and women. So I agree with you 100% there. I think in terms of self-help, personal development, man, you are spot on. What I would do is I would watch UFC, I'd watch WWE, I'd go to live events with them, have them share the excitement of it, and then start slowly putting them into some training to test the waters. You don't want to scare them away or anything like that. So I don't know if that helps, but that's what I'm here for. So, I've got 3 kids. My daughter is not so much into the wrestling. I put her in wrestling so she could test it. She didn't like it. But she's brilliant. She can play piano by ear. She is she's just turned 16, like literally 2 weeks ago. And she's already got voice acting gigs on anime fan dubs that have over 1 million views. She's got quite a portfolio on voice acting. And she's also really great at archery. So, I don't want to impose my thing on that and crush that passion that she has. My sons, on the other hand, they can't get enough of wrestling. They love roughhousing with me. And I'm not telling you the truth. I never let them win. I never let them win ever. Ever, not a single time. And they keep trying. And they're getting really tough. In fact, my 12-year-old, 13, he just turned 13. He grapples at, it's kind of a typical McDojo. It's just like a young person karate. I have a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old, now 13. They're young. And I put them in wrestling. I put them in jiu-jitsu. I put them in grappling. And I found this kind of McDojo that does it all. It does the whole thing. It does like the leadership stuff and the discipline stuff. You find more in the TMA schools, but also with the strong grappling. Anyway, long story short, my 13-year-old gives the 22-year-old sensei one hell of a hard time. He's the sensei's always scared to wrestle him because my son's gonna suplex him. So anyway, you gotta kind of do what you can do, if that makes any sense. And listen, guys, we will get to tons of Q&A. I promise. I'm here for you. You could type in the chat just like Interpret Angel did, who said, "Hoorah, awesome." Semper Fi Marine, if you are a Marine, I appreciate, grateful for your service. That I think is my favorite branch of the armed services are the Marines. I think you guys are really cool. I have a lot of friends that are Marines, and I have a lot of respect for they're the most like the wrestlers, with the exception of maybe some of the other special forces guys, but a lot of similar mentality. Interpret Angel says archery is a great art and discipline. Yes, sir. Oh, Navy Reserve, CB. Okay, that's cool. Much respect. Appreciate you, buddy. So let's get back on target. Okay, I want to talk about today's topic is really how to take your entrepreneurial vision to the next level. Hey, anybody in the chat that wants to be an entrepreneur, give me a number one, or is an entrepreneur, or wants to grow and become an entrepreneur, or be even a bigger, badder ass entrepreneur, because that's what we're going to be talking about today. So welcome to how to take your entrepreneurial vision to the next level. My name is Coach Jake, if you guys were there at the beginning, and I'm super excited to share this with you. This is something near and dear to my heart, and I want to share some what I think are some simple but powerful strategies in terms of taking your business to the next level, or if you don't have a business, how to start and take it to the next level. So I appreciate you. Interpret Angel says, I'm passionate about jewelry and precious metals. All right, man. Are you actually actively selling them? Do you have a business? When it comes to business and investing, I'm not talking investing today. I like precious metal stocks and insurance. Personally, the best investment is always in yourself, in training, in skill development, in personal development. But first, let's talk about why is it so important to have a clear vision for your business. Okay, because without a clear vision, it is super easy to get lost, to get distracted, all the day-to-day tasks, right? And to lose sight of what you're really working towards, okay? But if you do get a clear vision, you can stay focused, you can stay clear, and ultimately, that is what's going to drive the success in the field in which you desire. Does that make sense? So how do you create a clear vision? Right? The first thing is you have to define your purpose. One of my biggest heroes, a mentor, I was very lucky to give his last radio interview, Thomas Oz, the rebel psychiatrist. Rest in peace. Love that man. Brilliant. He said that the law of the jungle is to kill or be killed. But the law of the modern jungle, I'm totally paraphrasing. The law of the modern jungle is to define or be defined. So you really need to define things in your life, define yourself, define your purpose. These are huge. All right. Let's see here. Interpret Angel says, lost in the sauce. Yeah, dude. So the first thing is to really get your purpose and your vision. The Don Black is having money a vision. Dude, it's a good vision, man. Interpret Angel says collaboration is the key for success. It is one of the keys. 100%. 100%. So how do you define your purpose? Well, ask yourself, what do you want to accomplish with your business? What impact do you want to have with your business? I'll give you examples. Scientific wrestling. What do I want to accomplish? What is my purpose? What is the mission? The mission of scientific wrestling is to improve the lives of every man, woman, and child on planet Earth through scientific wrestling, the greatest personal development program known to man. Whether they're just a fan, an athlete, a coach, or a business person, a promoter, or a combination of all those things. That's the mission. That's my purpose. I want to reach every person on Earth with scientific wrestling. Now, what is the vision for scientific wrestling? The vision for scientific wrestling is to bring back professional wrestling as a competitive sport, one which you could bet on in Vegas, like the UFC. That's the vision. I had that vision in 10 years. That's my 10-year vision. Boom. Rock solid. Does that make sense? Interpret Angel says financial education literacy is a very important topic in your life. Mine too, buddy. I got a master's in financial mathematics. I've launched and sold out of multi-million-dollar companies. Made a lot of money in investing. I understand options and derivatives in particular very well. And I'm a nerd on business, man. As much of a nerd as I am on wrestling, most people know me from wrestling, and they're like, dude, you are the world's leading expert. I hear that all the time. Dude, I put in just as much work on business and finance and wealth. And I'm nowhere near my goals. I'm 50 years old and I'm still hustling, dude. I got big goals there. So I appreciate all the love, guys. So, if you want to share some of your stuff, throw them in the chat. That's what I'm here for, okay? So back to topic, having a clear vision is just the first step. Okay? You got to have your mission. You got to know where you're going, how you're going to do it. You got to lay it out. You got to think about it. You got to do that work. But the next step, that is completely impotent and lame without massive amounts of action. Massive, more than you think. Even if you think big, it's going to be bigger than you thought. I literally work from 7:30. I start work 7:30, and I am not done until 10. Now, I do take some breaks. I take care of my kids. I take care of my mom. I do these things, but I am massively moving in action. What Grant Cardone calls 4th degree massive action. Do you know the 4 degrees of action? I'll maybe save that for another talk. But massive action means you're not afraid to take risks, man. And you cannot be afraid to fail. You got to get over that, man. That is one of the biggest disservices that government schools, I stop calling them public schools, government schools, the biggest disservice that they've done is they've made failure a bad thing, something that you try to avoid. And so what does that make everybody? A bunch of risk-averse wussies, dude. You got to get out there. You got to take risks. This is what I love about wrestling. Dude, I've lost so many freaking wrestling and grappling matches, dude. But I've won a lot too. And that's how it goes. And that's how it goes in business. I've had so many successful businesses, and I've had a lot of shitty failure ones. Okay? That is the game. You got to get out there. You cannot be afraid to take risks. You got to push yourself out of your comfort zone, man. That's it. Go mess up, but learn from your mistakes. Okay? So massive action also means relentlessness, persistence. What's that famous phrase? Persistence prevails where all else fails. In wrestling, you get taken down, get back up. We were running practice last night with some noobs, brand new to the game. They want to just lay there. And I'm sorry, I think that's a lot of that is trained in by some of the modern approaches to grappling that aren't wrestling based, to just stay on the ground, get up. If you're underneath, you're at a disadvantage on a planet with gravity. And I'm sorry, we're on a planet with fucking gravity. Get up, stand up. Not giving up when things get tough and just laying there underneath, getting abused. And this goes for business as well. Okay. Now, another key strategy for getting your entrepreneurial vision to the next level. You can never be satisfied either. I've done that. I made that mistake. Do not be complacent, man. Because when there's a hiccup in the market like there is right now, dude, you're no fault of your own. A bunch of idiot bureaucrats, the Federal Reserve and the CDC, fucking up life for everybody. Facts. But you have no control over that. What you have control over is the amount of action and not being complacent. Okay? But another key component, and this will be it, and I'll get to comments and talk a little more with you guys live, but I want to get this covered. Another key strategy for taking your business to the next level, your entrepreneurial vision to the next level, is you have to surround yourself with the right people. have to surround yourself with the right people. That's not your buddies playing Call of Duty on Xbox. Sorry, that's not the right people. That's not the chick down at the strip club. Not the right people. You need to get around people who are better than you. You need to get around people that are better than you. You need to stuff your ego, bro. You have to. There's no other way. Mentors, coaches need coaches too. But you need other successful entrepreneurs. If it's athletics, you need other successful athletes and coaches. People who can provide you with guidance because they've been there before or done things you haven't done. They're going to give you that information. And support. Because sometimes you feel like quitting, and they're the ones that are like, dude, trust me, keep going. Look at what I did, man. I'm telling you. Because you need that support as you work towards your goals. And accountability. You need people to hold you accountable. So you don't puss out. Okay? In addition to mentors and coaches and other successful people, you're going to need to build a team of people dedicated to your mission, to your vision. They're hardworking, not bullshitters. They just want to cash a check. There's a lot of those. They take pride in like being a shitty employee. Fuck them. Go somewhere else. Waste somebody else's time. Find people who are dedicated to your vision and to your ideas. They exist. Is this helping you guys? Interpret Angel says, you're dropping gems. Thanks, buddy. Let me read some of these. Interpret Angel says, the tools you need is in your network. Yes, sir. Morgan, what's up, brother? Says, facts. Interpret Angel, CDC is controlling genocide. Yeah, I coined a term. I've seen other people pick it up. It's called iatrogenocide. Because iatrogenesis is death by doctor, medical errors, adverse drug reactions. Iatrogenesis. It's actually a huge subject. I'm a survivor of that shit. Almost died from a botched appendectomy when I was 10. So I've been sensitive to it for a long time and advocating. In fact, I have a Facebook group where I share shit regularly. I've done that for quite a number of years. In fact, proud to say that author of The Black Swan and Anti-Fragile, Nassim Taleb, has been in that group since the beginning, which I can't believe. It's a small group. There's like 300 people. It's crazy. Let's see. Interpret Angel says, success lies on the other side of your comfort zone. Yes, sir. We can learn from other people's failures through mentorships. Don Black says, pro wrestling in South Africa is kind of dying out. So I'm starting a t-shirt company to help the boys make some extra money and marketing the shows. I don't know what to tell you about that, buddy. Good luck. I hope you succeed. Interpret Angel says, I still have my appendix and my tonsils, but the Navy took my wisdom teeth. I was born without wisdom teeth. So I've had all kinds of crazy shit medically, but fortunately I won the lotto on that one. Didn't have any all right, guys. So in summary, I want to get this done. Define your purpose and set specific measurable goals. 1. Okay, we're talking about how to take your entrepreneurial vision to the next level. Right? So define your purpose and set specific measurable goals. Do it. Write it down. Figure it out. Talk to people when they're like, that's not clear. Oh, shit. I better get it clear. 2, take massive amounts of action to make it happen, dude. Stop pushing out saying you don't got it. Like, don't tell me you don't got money, you don't got time. I don't want to hear it. Just fucking go. 3, surround yourself with the right people to provide guidance and support. Does that make sense? All right. Interpret Angel says, Apple just missed earnings. Yeah, well, you can't. This is why I don't like stocks, man. And I made a lot of money in the stock market. I don't like it, though. Because I would not, they can lie to you, dude. I worked in the highest levels of a couple companies, like 5,000 employee companies, IndyMac Bank, the first bank to get nationalized during the 2008 crisis. I was high up. I was an advisor to the C-suite, to the chief risk officer in the analytics department. I was the manager of oversight for complex instruments, was the name of my title back then. It's bullshit. You can't control it, dude. You don't know if somebody's telling the truth or not on the K1s. You don't. Or if they're fudging things or maybe. So I don't like investing in other companies unless I know a lot about that company. This is where I think Warren Buffett is smart. He goes over it with a fine-tooth comb and invests for the long term. I think that's a smart strategy. This candlestick charting stuff, it's all the jerk off, dude. I'm just telling you, it's not scientifically, mathematically, statistically sound. Interpretation says that's why I'm more passionate about holding precious metals these days. Precious metals is cool. You're just going to keep the value, hopefully. I honestly, I do prefer cryptocurrency for that, but you're not going to make money. You might, in a speculative rush, like what happened when Bitcoin went to 70, you might make some money off of volatility. But there's no cash flow. There's no cash flow. You want a business. You want real estate. You want something that cash flows. It appreciates and flows cash at the same time. And if you can find one that's tax advantage, man, now you're really good, right? Nature Point 10 Planet says, I want a gold belt. Yes, sir, dude. Only belt that matters is gold. I know that causes butthurt in a particular community, but you got to pick. Are you going to be an art or sport? Which are you? Are you an art or sport? I'm sorry, dude. Oh, it's both. Shut the fuck. I mean, come on. I like boxing. I like Muay Thai. I like wrestling. You just get out there and you go. That's what I like, you know? And guess what? Even if you have a gold belt, it doesn't matter anyway. What matters is that you get out there, you participate, you try to have fun, you improve the community, and it really is personal development, man. It really is. All right, so let's open it up. I'm going to stay on here for probably another 5 minutes. Anybody have some questions, anything about business, anything about grappling, in particular, catch as catch can, or the scientific wrestling family? You know, I want to talk, like, relevant to what we were talking about today about this entrepreneurial vision. Dude, I have a huge goal with scientific wrestling. I always use that because that's kind of my passion project. I have these other businesses that I love, and I'm passionate about it, but this one resonates with me. And so I find it resonates with the broad audience, and that's why I tend to talk about it. If you guys want to talk about software, we can talk about that. It's kind of boring. If you want to talk about markets and investment, we can talk about that. But, you know, from a business standpoint, scientific wrestling, I've got a strong mission. I've got a strong purpose. I've got a strong team of people dedicated. I've got the best mentors in the world. I mean, have you seen who's endorsing us now? We've got MMA GOAT Frank Shamrock. Like, unequivocal. He's like, I don't endorse people, but I endorse Jake. Billy Robinson, again, does not give compliments. Said, because of me, without a doubt, his words, catch wrestling's going to come back. Wade Chalice, like, dude, we've got the guys, the best. So that I'm surrounding myself with the best people. That's why it's blowing up. Interpret Angel says, I want to support your scientific wrestling. Come on, man, buy something. That's the best way. But, you know, get to a camp, because this is like an oral tradition in language. It has to be spoken, dude. I mean, we can make all the fucking videos, and, you know, BJJ Fanatics is great. I kind of went down that rabbit hole. In fact, they took a lot of my business model, and I'm proud of that. They used to originally be a reseller of scientific wrestling videos, and then expanded and blew them up. I didn't want to be a video producer. It's cool, and I did it, and I did it as a means to an end zone. My purpose is to bring back the sport, the competitive sport of professional wrestling. Catch as catch can. Scientific wrestling. That is what I'm about. And you can't do it with videos. You got to get off your ass. I mean, you might have the biggest instructional library known to man. Big deal. It's cool, but wrestling is done. It's not. I mean, I guess if you watch, I mean, it's important for spectators. You have to have spectators. That's in fact why I like catch wrestling over grappling. What people seem to slowly be grasping, that I've been saying for 20 years, that the pin is essential. I used to be ridiculed for that. I used to be ridiculed for talking about leg locks. I used to be ridiculed for talking about cradles and Nelsons. And slowly, it's just one of those things, like that Gandhi thing. Like where first they make fun of you, and then they start doing all your shit or copying you or whatever. The pin is crucial, especially if you're going to make this into a spectator sport. It drives the action. So let's see, we've got a ton of people jumping on here. Interpret Angel, Google just missed earnings. Let's see what Amazon does. Yeah, I mean, dude, the market is shit right now. The interest rates are so high, people aren't spending money unless you really have excellent sales training. Let's see here. Nature Boy 10 Planet. Can you talk about the rule set for Shoot Pro? So, dude, Shoot Pro's sick. It's sick. In fact, I'm finally getting around to getting our first 3 shows edited down into individual matches so you guys can watch them and not have to sort through the entire show, if that makes sense. So, I don't know what you want to know about the rule set. The rule set is based upon the rule set I co-developed with Carl Gotch, the guy behind modern MMA, frankly. The corner in the Ali Inoki fight, he cornered Inoki. Was behind the UWFI and all of those, and the UWF and all those branches, from Pancras to Fujiwara Gumi to Rings to Pride, Shuto. He co-developed the rules with me, mostly my stuff, and then I sent it to review, and he made a couple tweaks that I took on. In particular, the weight classes. I really like the weight classes. Those aren't going to ever change because that's a huge contribution Carl made. But it's that rule set, the King of Catch rule set for singles matches. Now, what we had to do is make some adjustments because, the Invitational is slightly different than doing an open tournament like King of Catch. Shoot Pro is the Invitational. So we do have a point system, but we do not have the point system in King of Catch. The point system is very similar to the point system in the UWFI promotion, which was the immediate predecessor to Pride. And it's a negative point scheme based on action. If you guys are interested, you can actually go. I have listed, I share this with you guys. And tons of people rip me off. Of course, they never give credit, but that's not my point. My purpose is not to get credit for everything. My purpose is to fucking impact the game, and I have done that. Now, go to shootprowrestling.com. I have the rules for singles matches, tag teams, and what we term triple shoots, which in WWE are triple threat, single man, 3-way tag. And we've done all of them. We've done these all, and they're all in the Shoot Pro shows. In particular, in Shoot Pro 2, we did every single match. We did singles, tag, and triple shoots on one show. Crazy, dude. The people love the tag team. In fact, at practice last night, we were at V10 MMA, which is in Aurora, Colorado. They've got a great fight team out there. A lot of guys that are constantly on the Sparta MMA scene, which is the biggest MMA promotion in Colorado and has been in many, many states. Vegas. Jeff Cisneros runs that, great guy. And I've been training those guys, doing a fight camp, 6-week camp with them to kick off the Coach and Catch tours. And long story short, we did tag team sparring last night. They love it. Everybody freaking loves it, dude. Interpret Angel says balance is key. No, balance sucks. Neither vegan nor carnivore diet is superior. It's about understanding your genetics. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I'm not a fan of balance as a metaphor. I'm more of a fan of integration. I would rather say work-life integration than work-life balance, because to me, work-life balance sounds like you're segmenting it out and you got to have multiple personalities and you got a lot of plates to spin. That's not going to work. It's not going to work, dude, because you're not going to give the attention. You need to figure out how to integrate, how to bring it all together. That's where you start getting really powerful. To use the corporate bullshit bingo, synergies, right? Like how can you have two things become more than the sum of their parts? And to me, a lot of times that comes from integrating different parts of your life. And it's difficult. I'm not saying it's easy, and sometimes it takes a while. Nature Boy 10th Planet says, are body slams legal? Yes. You can go to shootprowrestling.com. By the way, we're looking for sponsors. We are trying to take this to the next level, speaking of the topic today. So if you believe in this and you know somebody that can help us, we will help them. We're going to promote the living bejesus out of the company because we're going to be promoting the living bejesus out of us. You will get evergreen marketing. Think about like UFC 1 and 2. Those are still being watched. And those companies that sponsored those and took the risk 30 years later are still, and every replay, that brand is on the turnbuckles or on the ring apron or whatever, or on the canvas, whatever. So Interpret Angel, Pride and K1 was brutal. My favorite. Pride, man, Pancras was cool. Pancras was very cool. But I would say Pride was number one. Pride, number one. That was an incredible promotion. I loved everything about it because what they were doing. So from my perspective, because of the influence of Dana White and the Fertittas, UFC is promoted like boxing. Whereas Pride, because of the influence of UWFI, was promoted like pro wrestling. And this is why I think people liked Pride better. And it was corruption that brought it down. And that's a shame. It's a real shame because it was a fantastic way of promoting it. That's the vision for Shoot Pro, is pure pro wrestling as competition. So the great thing I like about it as a business model, and why I'm trying to bring people in on the business model of Shoot Pro, is that because we allow no strikes, it is a grappling competition. But because of the pin, it is just as exciting as MMA. Go watch Shoot Pro 2. Tell me that shit was not fucking entertaining. It's amazing. And the live audience, it's like their minds are blown. Like seriously, just like standing in the blast of a nuclear bomb. Just you can see the skin. It's like that scene in Indiana Jones when like the ark opens and their face melts. Like it is insane. Go watch it on YouTube. It's on there for free. Shoot Pro Wrestling. I think I put it also on shootprowrestling.com. You can go there and look. That might actually have changed to the highlight reel, which we got Stephan Bonner and Forrest Griffin, the guys responsible for elevating UFC to a $4 billion valuation, honestly. And that was because the Ultimate Fighter show that they were on was essentially pro wrestling. They went away from the boxing format and went to pro wrestling. Let's have all this backstage drama drive the events in the ring as a reality show. And that is really my first thing that I'm trying to get after we get the live shows, is I want to do that exact same formula with the Shoot Pro. I want to get an investor. I want to get a house, and I want to film it, everything. And it'll be 100% shoot. It'd be awesome, dude. We're going to make real professional wrestling. That's what Catch as Catch Can is. Do you know that? Do you know that Catch as Catch Can wrestling is simply the sport, the competitive sport of professional wrestling? Don't buy all the other bullshit. Oh, it's deadly. And I mean, it is. There's evidence of people being killed in the ring with full Nelsons and things like that. I mean, yeah, but that's not the point. All you guys that went into amateur wrestling and MMA and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because you were a little kid who loved WWE, I'm going to give you that opportunity to live that dream. But I need your help, man. I need your help. I've been busting my ass 20 years. Have you ever done something for fucking 20 years straight? Constant? Dude, I've published tens of thousands of pages on the subject. I've produced thousands of hours of content on the subject. I've toured and met thousands and thousands of people doing this for 20 years, man. I need your help. Who do you know that is the biggest influencer that can help me make this happen? Connect us. I hope I've earned your fucking trust after 2 decades, man. Longer than some of you people are watching that are been alive. So it's all out there. Go to scientificwrestling.com. You can check it all out. You see, I'm passionate about it, but I am just as passionate about business, man. That's what this whole number one thing is about, the mission really is about financial literacy. Interpret Angel really brought it up kind of earlier. Interpret Angel says, balance in nutrition and diet. It's about genetics rather than fad diets. Dude, I'm not even talking about diets. I appreciate it, though. Ishmael, Prince of Manlets. Prince had great pageantry that UFC greatly lacks. 100%, bro. Interpret Angel. I'm going to go watch Shoot Pro right after this. Yeah, dude, it's free on YouTube. I would recommend you guys the best show that we did. The first show was just the MVP, the minimum viable product. So I could get it out and prove that there was demand. You know what I did, dude? I put it together. I booked it. There was nobody with a big name. Good wrestlers, okay, but nobody with a big name. Not a single one. And I booked it in this this rough bar that had perfect seating. It's like theater in the round. We set up a wrestling ring in the middle, and I was like, last minute, I was like, shit, I'm just going to set up my cell phone and live stream this. We got 21,000 views, dude, on Facebook alone. I didn't do multi-streaming. 20, and I had one cam. 21,000 views for that event. So the second event, I stepped it up. I was like, okay, cool. And I threw it out there. And this is the one that I like the most, even though the third one I think is the best production values. But the number two just is mind-blowing. And that was the tag team tournament. And I put a triple shoot on there, and I put a singles match on there as well. Fucking sick, dude. It's so good. I'm so proud of those guys and what we were able to put together. Great show. The live crowd was just like mind blown, like I said. And Shoot Pro 3 was the middleweight tournament. And we had high-level guys. Had Nick Tarpley, who's on the USA Greco-Roman national team. Like tons of great guys. Jacoby Jones won it, the middleweight tournament. He's high rollers champion, MMA champ, like stud guy, great wrestler. It's cool. It's super cool. Emperor Charlemagne, what's up, bro? Hey, bro, did Gene LaBelle and Billy Robinson have a friendship of any kind? If yes, what did they think of each other's skills? Thank you for your business and finance advice. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, they were friends. They had a lot of respect for each other. A lot of respect. Gene constantly put over Carl Gotch and Billy Robinson, constantly. And I remember in an interview one time, somebody asked Billy about Gene, and he said, everybody talks about this Bruce Lee guy. Well, who did he hire for a bodyguard? And it was Gene LaBelle, right? So, these guys were so fucking good to me. They were the best mentors that you could have in that business. And I was very, very lucky to have them all. Gene, I don't talk about it, but Gene was a real good friend of mine especially when I lived in LA. Yeah, so they're all gone now. So it's up to us. If we don't do it, nobody's going to do it. That's what I've been trying to fucking tell people. Pardon my language. That if we don't do it, it ain't going to get done. So do it and do it good. Have high standards. Does that make sense? Master with cracked ribs. Do you think Sketch Can in the UK will fully revive if the rule set is kept to old school traditional rules, or should it take a modern direction? A theory is it would be limited that BJJ will absorb it. Yeah, so I already anticipated this, honestly. There are rule set variants within catch wrestling, a ton of them. You can go and look this up. I've written articles on it. There's people who, do the no true Scotsman fallacy, and they're tragically misinformed or deliberately trying to mislead people for their own improvement. There's many, many different rule sets. There are rule sets where the strangle is barred and rule sets where the strangle is included. There's rule sets where the toe holds were barred. There's rules. The thing about catch that I also like is it's not some top-down authority-driven thing. It was bottom-up. It was two wrestlers in their camps would have to agree on the rule set. And I want to stay true to that. I don't want to become some sort of authority in it, other than an authority based on the consent of the people, because they're like, fuck, this guy has done more and knows more and has helped more than anybody. That's the only authority I seek. But what I mean is that, that's why I like these variations in rules, like tag team, triple threat. So anyway, I do think that the barring of strangles, which seems to be doggedly held on to with some of the British catch as catch can. I already anticipated that. There's no way. There's no way. In fact, when Carl and I were talking about it, he was like, well, you can have sleepers, but no other chokes. And I just was like, I had to make an executive decision. I kept a lot of the things he said. Now, mind you, Carl said include sleepers, carotid chokes, rear naked chokes. Okay. And Carl, people need to get this shit right. He considered himself, in the end, an American catch as catch can wrestler, not a Wigan catch wrestler. A lot of people love to use the name he came up with, Snake Pit, in a press junket. They love to use his name, but not any of these fucking people knew him. I did, and I recorded as much as I could of our conversations. You can go to carlgotch.com, listen to him yourself. Okay. And, but the problem is modern grappling, you cannot do it without chokes and be sustainable. Because first of all, chokes are the most successful submission. So you don't want to leave out. In fact, I believe leaving out chokes is the only reason why Hoist Gracie beat Ken Shamrock back then. I don't think Ken was versed in them because they weren't really training him hard. I think the world would be different. We'd probably have catch wrestling McDojos in every strip mall instead of BJJ today. But the very first submission in the UFC was Ken Shamrock with a heel hook. And look how long that fucking took to come around. Like 15 years to break through the thick-headedness and the machismo and the bullshit. So, I don't know. Master with cracked ribs. I don't know if that helps. Ishmael, Prince of Manlet, Snake Pit, 2 hours away. Should I just no gi? I'd love go over there. I love those guys. I mean, you're not going to learn chokes. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll start. I mean, they've started slowly coming around. They weren't doing nothing until Billy and I went over there. We toured and a couple times met with Roy and Andrea, and I think they were inspired. Whether they say it or not, I don't know what goes on behind closed doors. But we clearly proved that there was a demand for it, and so I'm glad that they've gotten involved because Wigan is a big part of the history. Now, unfortunately, British wrestling really hasn't done much competitively, like with freestyle or, but I am glad that they're back teaching and making it available. And they have recently, I've actually been very impressed. When they first started doing their world championships, by the way, anybody can call something a world championship. I don't do that with shoot. I just say it's a shoot pro. I don't like the pretension of that personally. But some people do, and you leverage it, and some people who are not really aware of the business will be, oh, world, and not know how this stuff works, and it's all marketing. But I will say at the beginning, they were just basically doing these competitions with randos that showed up at camps. Okay, so it wasn't high-level competition. And in the last couple of years, they've opened it up and allowed people that are not now. What you'll note is that a lot of the guys winning are kind of the more hardcore guys that do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and freestyle wrestling and come in and compete and do well. But I would most certainly, if Wigan is within 2 hours of you, personally, if it was me and I was younger and not fucked up and injured, I would be there. I mean, dude, you can look at what I did to fucking learn, dude. 2 hours is nothing. 2 hours is fucking nothing. I would do that. And Roy and Andrea are great people. I would go over there and I would train there. Emperor Charlemagne says, your knowledge of catch history is amazing. I adore this podcast. Also, I remember the Billy interview on SureDog where he talks about Gene. Yeah, that's the one I was referring to. But is there an interview of Gene talking about Billy? Maybe somewhere. I don't know. I don't know, man. If somebody knows, send it to me and I'll pass it along. Kendo Jedi. All right. CWO number 1. All right. Appreciate it, bud. Interpret Angel. I need better mentors and successful people I can surround myself with. Always. Always. Dude, that's why I call this stuff number 1. I go for the number 1. Look at Wade Chalice. Look at Frank Shamrock. These are guys that mentored me on purpose. I've been with Wade since 2003. I started with Frank. I'm even listed in his MMA for Dummies book as a resource. Okay. And that's not even mentioning Carl Gotch or Billy Robinson or Gene LaBelle, right? Miles JJ says Ken didn't know collar chokes. Yeah, and I mean he could, it was a problem. Now clearly things are different now. You can't just go about wearing a freaking pajamas in in the ring because it's actually a sport now. And I don't know what to do with that info, but it is what it is. Let's see if we got any more. Master with cracked ribs. There's more events on the card this year across Wigan, Catch, and Bridge. Yeah, dude, and I love it, man, because that's the purpose of what I'm doing. Some people may like me or don't like me, but guess what? If you like me, you help me. And if you don't like me, you compete against me, and that's helping me with my vision of making real professional. So you're fucked. You might as well just figure that out. But I appreciate that, Master Crack Rib. Yeah, like I love the fact. I really enjoyed the last World Championships that they ran, because I do think that now obviously chokes need to be in it, in my opinion. But for whatever reason, the heels are dug in on that with that group, and it's not my business. But the show is great, and their production values are fantastic. I'm first to tell you there. I just would love to get some of the high level wrestling talent out of the United States, some NCAA guys. Now they would just smoke people over there, but hopefully they will. Maybe somebody's listening here and will feed them a little info and give them a tip. So, all right, guys, I'm going to jump off here unless you got something else. Oh, wait, Charlemagne, Emperor Charlemagne says, can you talk about the scientific wrestling gym near Toronto? It's not near Toronto. It's in Windsor, which is right in the center. It's like, well, it's directly above. It's almost connected to Detroit. Can you talk about scientific wrestling gym near Toronto, Windsor, in Canada? It's 4 hours away from my home, and I'm considering a visit. Also, how does the affiliation program work? Well, thank you for asking. So, okay, yeah, these are great guys. Carmen DeCrisio and Marco Carbone. Carmen originally came from more of a stand-up and Muay Thai. He's a Muay Thai instructor, but wanted to supplement with the best grappling in the business. And Marco was originally affiliated with another grappling program, and then saw ours and was like, holy shit, this is like the biggest no-brainer in the history of business. And so we started talking. He started coming to some camps, mind blown. Great guy, tough guy, has a bit of experience with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well. I want to say he's like blue or purple. I can't remember, honestly, because I don't know that much about it, but he might be a purple belt. Anyway, he's also the equivalent in Canada of SWAT. And so they started the camp, and they've been rocking it, dude. So we're beginning to get a big presence in Canada, which is fantastic. That's our first international affiliate as well. So yeah, I don't know, man. I can make the introduction if you like. Just send me a DM or something. And about the affiliation program. So you asked, how does the affiliation program work? So now here's the thing. It is primarily designed for people who have a gym. And let's say you have Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu already, or let's say you don't. Let's just say you're like a mom and pop traditional martial arts school, like Taekwondo. Okay. And you're sick of getting hammered because everybody's going to the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu down the street. Well, what we offer is a curriculum from the very best, Billy Robinson, Wade Chalice. I'm integrating it, putting it all together. And with the help of guys like Brandon Ruiz, Sam Crescent, Jesse Merez, Luis Ojeda. Like I'm very proud of the curriculum that we put together. It's fucking badass. And it's accelerated. So now this mom and pop gym, or let's say you're a boxing gym and you don't have grappling, but you want to offer it. And you already got boxing rings. So now you can basically convert one of those over to a shoot pro ring, right? Master with cracked ribs. I'm in Snake Pit, Wigan next week. I will pass your thoughts on to Andrea. I mean, I'm sure people are watching, and whether they're well received or not, I have nothing but respect for them. They are great, great people, and I'm very glad that they are promoting the sport in England and making it possible. And the great thing is, from a branding perspective, having it in Lancashire is fantastic. Fantastic. I think you'd maybe do well to bring it down to Manchester, bigger area. But anyway, yeah, please give them my best. Fantastic humans. I can't say it enough. But okay, back to the affiliate program, Scientific Wrestling. So that allows these people now to get their coaching accreditation and offer grappling, wrestling based with submissions. We're talking takedowns, not just takedowns, but terminal takedowns that end in a submission, punishing pins from the king of pinning. You don't want to get your pinning from some guy who just throws the word out and has a bunch of instructional tapes. You want to go to number one, Guinness record holder, Wade Chalice, terminal takedowns, punishing pins, and truly surgical submissions that are not shown in most other sports, or they try to rip us off and they still do them wrong. I'm gonna be honest, Billy was like the most technical guy I've ever met, and we've done our best to maintain that high fidelity to his methods. But also strategy, like, how do you set things up? How do you do ring generalmanship? And then in addition to that, we've got the only rule set co-developed by Carl. So you would not only get the curriculum, you get two. So here's the pitch. You get tuition for 2 to our highly acclaimed Coaching Catch certification program, all the way through to full coach. Okay. That's a $10,000 value. Each of those is $5,000. You get 2 of them. Okay. That's included. You get a Mayspell certification from the guy who fucking invented it and launched the whole movement, me, and my number one student, Rick Brown, badass dude, fantastic trainer. So you get 3 certifications out of it. Okay. It's different ways to make money teaching classes. Now, if you don't own a gym, you could just go on the seminar circuit with this. You understand? Look at somebody like Dave Patrone. Catch Cradle King. He's in the Scientific Wrestling family. Started working with us. We hooked him up with some opportunities now, and he doesn't even have a gym anymore, and he can make money touring. So you don't have to have a gym, but it's great if you do. But in addition to making money teaching, and that includes Mayspell. Now, the Mayspell is not included with the Coaching Catch. That's only with this. The affiliates get this. Okay. In addition, you get complete resale rights. This is only with the affiliate program. Scientific Wrestling affiliate. Scientificwrestler.com is the site. You can see it. Okay. So you get resale rights to everything we've produced. You get a 50% of everything you sell on the instructional side. You get 20% on events, and if you sell somebody on a cert or on a affiliation. Right now, until we hit 25 affiliates, we're already at 11. So we can spot for like 13, 14 more. But once we hit 25, it's going to go up to $15,000 plus $500 a year. But right now it's only 10. It's $9,995, whatever, That's the cost. Anyway, so you get 2 Coaching Catch service, Mayspell certification. You get resale rights to every product that I've ever made and sold, and all the events. You get a promoter's license to use King of Catch. Plus, you get the option. Now, I'm a hard ass to also use Shoe Pro with approval. So you get a promoter's license for King of Catch and Shoe Pro. Plus, you get 6 months of business coaching directly with me. I was the number 2 Cardone certified coach in 2022. I normally charge $2,500 a month to businesses, and you get all of that. And I've actually got it right now to where there is a special. You only have to come up with $2,400 down and $225 a month. There's not a better affiliate program. There's not, dude. I did my market research. You will not find a better deal with a better potential ROI and a lower price, better value. and the price is going up. So we blew through 11 in our first 9 months affiliates. We're already, I just launched this like last year. So this thing will be blowing up. Emperor Charlemagne says, thank you for answering my questions. Amazing. Thank you. Last one for me. Are you aware of Lancashire Catch Wrestling and the great Jack Montfort? Yes. Their YouTube channel is almost as good as mine. They're great. They're great. Yeah. Vic and Vince are fantastic humans. I very much love what they're doing. And with Jack Montfort is a true gem, true fountainhead of fantastic information and a connection back to the past. I did my best to document and let you guys sit in. Like warcatchwrestling.com is the Billy Robinson online course with a lot of the footage that I put together from all over. But to actually still have somebody like Jack Montfort around, man, the guy's fantastic. So yeah, please give everybody my best. John, go work for AEW. Listen, man, I'm going to go with people who would be true to the vision because I will not compromise. I won't compromise. I'll stay small because I won't sell it out, period. But I do realize the power of these guys like AEW, WWE, UFC. If they're open to making a deal and give me creative control, I'll blow this shit up, dude. Guaranteed. I'm fucking proven, dude. I'm proven on business. I'm proven on the wrestling business, dude. I'll blow this shit up. Guaranteed. All right, guys. I got a jet. I got to go pick up my kids from school now. I went too long. We're at almost an hour. I meant to go 15 minutes. Appreciate you guys. We will check you tomorrow it's Friday already, man. Can't believe it. But remember, weekends are for the week, dude. Keep working. Keep hustling.